All right, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadas. I want to give double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone for teaching me the truth 100% securely. I would like to give a salutation to the Akim and Akwa who are listening and studying to show thyself approved. This is your brother Bayan from the Tulsa, Oklahoma, Hebrew Delight Camp, coming back to you with another quick lesson. And it's pretty much just a quick lesson, which is Watchman report. All right, so this is another Watchman report. As you can see, as the title on this very screen, it says Tennessee lawmaker issue apology for proposing hanging by tree as execution option. All right, so here it is, man. These devils, man, they got it out for Yasser Ali, the so-called Negroes, Latino, and Native Americans. So they're proposing these laws for Yasser Ali, okay, and they're gonna be a matter of time when all of these are gonna be in place, okay, during Jacob's trouble, okay. So this very article won't allow me to play it, so I had to go to the very video, and then we just go ahead and read the article and get a few scriptures and close it out.
Thank you, Representative Powers, for bringing this. I think it's a very good idea. And I was just wondering about, could I put an amendment on that would include hanging by a tree?
Right, so I'm gonna stop it right here because it said my exaggerated comment were intended to convey my belief that for the cruelest and most heinous crime, a just society required the death penalty in kind. I securely apologize to anyone who may have been hurt or offended. Okay, and that's the representative who pretty much lying to his teeth ultimately. All right, let me finish playing this when we get into scriptures. All right, so these devils got it out for Yasha Allah, man. There's nothing, make no mistakes about it. Okay, so these devils got it out for Yasha Allah. Okay, these laws are gonna be in place during Jacob's trouble, and then whenever they issue that mark of the beast. Okay, that's ultimately what those laws are gonna be for. So anybody that don't want to go along with that mark of the beast, there's gonna be execution style for those individuals. Okay. So, reading on in this article, it said the Republican Tennessee legislator faced backlash this week after he proposed to revive lynching-style hanging. Representative Paul Sherrill made the proposal Tuesday during a criminal justice committee meeting that addressed House Bill 1245, a bill that would allow death row inmates to be killed by firing squad. See? And that's another thing. See, they'll be killed by firing squad. While expressing his support for the bill, Sherrill suggests an amended version that would include another execution option. All right, and then this is quote his word. He said, "I think it's a very good idea. I would just wonder if I could put an amendment on that would include hanging by a tree." Also, he said, as reported by the Tennessean. All right, so Sherrill proposed received immediate pushback, with many critics pointing to the horrific history of hanging or lynching in Tennessee. All right, so this is what it means, and this is what Trump and all of them mean when they saying "Make America Great Again." Okay, and that's why we always go out on our bywords and we push that America, aka Babylon the Great, have never been a rest for Yasser Allah, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. There's never been a place for us to get comfortable here. Okay, so that's why you need to get your official bag packed. All right, so reading on, it said he is celebrating a particular form of execution used against African American. All right, African American. We're not African. We're the Hebrew Israelites. All right, specifically the African American will be specifically from the tribe of Judah. Okay, and it said in African American in Tennessee and across the nation, including innocent and wrongfully convicted persons. You see that? And that's pretty much what's going to happen in the near future. They're going to add up all of these executions, just like in this article, it's going to be, uh, hanging by the tree. And then, early in the article, they said that they're discussing uh, a firing squad, okay, for inmates. So they're gonna line inmates up, okay, and then they're gonna, you know, execution style like that. All right, line people up, and then they're gonna have people they're gonna shoot them up. Okay, that's one. That's another execution. Then you got the guillotine. Then they're trying to bring that back. Okay, the guillotine where they put somebody's head in that little thing, and then chop their head off. Okay? And that does say the scripture. All right? Many shall be beheaded for the word of Yahweh Yahushua. For the word and the testimony of Yahweh Yahushua. All right, so reading on, it said, Gloria Sweet Love, president of the Tennessee State Conference of the NAACP, which is NAACP is a joke, okay, had a nerve to give D. Wade and Gabrielle Union the President's Award for, speaking out with that wicked agenda, the alphabet agenda, all right, which I pretty much did a lesson on that already. All right, reading on, it said, told News Channel 5 in many parts of the South, lynching took place in nearly every country as it exemplified uh, racialized and anti-black violence. We know from numerous research studies that blacks are also disproportionately executed, especially when the alleged victim is white. She continued, it is a sad day in Tennessee politics when a lawmaker publicly announced that he wants to resurrect the lynching tree. We demand an apology from Representative Sherrill and ask the House leadership to condemn statement advocating radical racialized violence. And see, and this is pretty much this the policy is not gonna do nothing. And ultimately this is why this place gotta be destroyed. Cause these people is all of these people these NAACP, they a joke, man. They not gonna change nothing. They not doing nothing to change nothing. All right. So America is a joke, man. That's basically bottom line. And I'm ready to see the downfall of America, aka Babylon the Great. And it says Cheryl has since apologized in a statement released through the House of Republican Caucus press secretary. I regret that I used very poor judgment in voicing my support of a college bill in the Criminal Justice Committee on Tuesday. He said, my exaggerated comments were intended to convey my belief that for the cruelest and most heinous crime, a just society required the death penalty in kind, although a victim family cannot be restored when an execution is carried out. Said a lesser punishment undermined the value we place on protecting life. And that's some bullshit. They don't represent life. They represent death. And these are the devils that the Bible speak of. Okay. My intention was to express my support of families who often wait decades for justice. I sincerely apologize to anyone who may have been hurt or offended. Okay, which is we're gonna get into scriptures on that. These are just, straight liars, as they always are. All right, according to the State Department of Correction, hanging was the primary method of execution until 1913. Lethal injections are now the preferred option. However, lawmakers are trying to implement other methods due to reported failure of the TDOC lethal injection protocol. There are now 46 death row inmates in Tennessee, 45 of whom are men. All right, so you get the gist, man. These devils is ultimately going to implement these execution styles, and they going to apply it in the near future, man. So ultimately, this is what you're going to be looking at when it comes to the MOTB, the mark of the beast. Okay, so they're going to have all these different execution styles depending on the area, I guess. Okay, so this is Isaiah, starting at Isaiah chapter 10. In verse 1, it said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees. Okay. And it said, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree. You know, that woe is ultimately going into, great sorrow, distress. All right. And it said, woe unto them. All right. Those them is these lawmakers right here, these devils right here. These are the devil that the Bible speak of. These are the ones that you gotta watch out for. Cause these are the ones that ultimately controlling the swing of society, okay, the economic and so on and so forth. All right, they control whether you live or die in this wicked society. So woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, and so that word decree, unrighteous decree, which is it said decree, resolve, statute, action, prescribe, an enactment of revolution, decree, thought. Let's see. See if we get any more by looking at other definitions. And that the Greek word for unrighteous decree is shaquat. Shaquat. Yeah, shaquat. All right. And then another definition it says primitive rule properly to hack, i.e., engrave. Judge 5 and 14 to be a scribe simply by implication to enact laws being cut in stone or metal tablet and primitive time or generally prescribe, anoint, decree, governor, okay, grave, lawgiver. All right. So these right here in this specific case is the lawmaker. Okay, note, portray, print, set. In the outline it says to cut out, decree, inscribe, set, engrave, portray, governor. To cut in, or on, cut on, upon, engrave, inscribe, trait, mark out, engrave, inscribe of a law. Okay, so unrighteous degrees is these laws that the devil is trying to put out on the earth. Okay, so woe unto them. All right, how about you outside is going to come bring destruction upon them. All right, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decree and they write grievousness. Okay, the word grievousness is amal, and it says toil, trouble, labor. Okay, trouble, mischief. The definition is said wearing effort, hence worry, whether of body or mind, grievance, iniquity, labor, mischief, miserable. All right, pain. Okay, so when he said woe unto them that write unrighteous decree and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. All right. And then verse 2, when it says to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people. All right. And they're taking away the right of Yasha'Allah. Okay. They've been doing that for years. All right. So these devils does not like you. All right. Any 2/3 that believe that you can get along with these devils, no. These are the ones these are your enemy. They always been your enemy. They had that perpetual hatred from generation to generation. Okay. You read Ezekiel, the 35th chapter about that. All right, so reading Isaiah 10 and 2 again from the top, it said, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. You see that? And so, they gonna rob the fatherless. Ultimately the fatherless is Yasharala, because we're without a savior at the time being, all right, especially in this society. And so pretty much jumping down in this same chapter, Isaiah 10 and 6, and it said, and I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey. Okay, who's the prey? In this particular case is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, like the devil right here, who want to add an execution option. All right, and to shred them down like the mire of the streets. Okay, but in this particular verse, it really actually going into the wicked Israelites as well too. But case in point, you can actually use it to these devils as well too. All right, ultimately this verse is particularly going to the Israelites who claim to love Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, when you know they also wicked too. So these pretty much be the 2/3 who going along with these devils. Okay, so you can go from there, you know, and then read Psalm chapter 55. Okay, because he said he issued an apology. Okay, and that's pretty much what these devils like to do. Okay, so this is Psalm 55. We can start at verse 20, okay? Because he said, he put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He has broken his covenant. Now, how many times have you seen in history where these devils, you know, had a peace and they had a peace treaty and they broke the covenant, okay? They broke their agreement, all right? They did this to the Native American, okay? Which would be the Gadites, the tribe of Gad, Reuben, okay? All right, so they broke all the treaties. They set up treaties to all the Native American. They broke every last one of them. And this is how you know the scripture is talking about these same devils. Okay, Psalm 55 and 21, and it says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Okay, this word it's smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn sword. You see that? And this is where his words are softer than oil when he's trying to issue an apology. Okay, we go back and see where he said right here in this very paragraph where he said, my intention was to express my support of families who often wait decades for justice. You see that? And that's his words is smoother than butter right there. This is exactly how you know the Bible is talking about these very same devils. So we read Psalm 55 and 21 again, and it said, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn sword. You see that? All right, so you reading on, you know, I'm going to highlight it because he said, my intention, this same devil who basically tried to issue an apology, try to use his smooth word, which is smoother than butter. All right, he said, my intention was to express my support of family who often wait decades for justice. I sincerely apologize to anyone who may have been hurt or offended. You see that? And this man said he sincerely apologized, which is this is the damn devil right here. All right, and this is how you know he's the devil, because he's speaking with these smooth words. Okay, and we can actually go from there. Showing you who these damn Edomites are. And say, well, yeah, where they draw on sword, you can actually go read Genesis 27 and 40. Okay? And that reads, and he said, by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke off from off thy neck. All right, so you know these are pretty much basic scriptures that you know who Esau Edom is, the so-called white man. All right, let's go from there and then read the book of Sirach, chapter 12 and 10. And this is why you should never trust these damn devils, no matter what they say. Don't never trust them. Don't trust nothing that they say. All right, so we can end off with this chapter right here. This is Sirach, Ecclesiastica, aka Sirach, chapter 12 and 10. And he says, never trust thy enemy. Okay, these lawmakers right here, these are your enemies. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, these are your enemies right here. All right, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And he said, in verse 11, he said, though he humble himself. And you see, he humbled himself by issuing an apology with the bullshit that he said in that article. And you know, that news clip. You know he don't mean nothing, no true apology. He said he sincerely apologized, but he don't. Okay, these devils looking to destroy Yasha. Okay, read Psalm the 83rd chapter. It said, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou have wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. And it says, set not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place, neither let him sit at thy right hand. All right, was going back to the very first verse. Never trust him. This man don't even need to be on the right hand. He don't need to be your right hand man. And he said, neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my word and be pricked therewith. Verse 13, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? So anybody believe this damn devil, believing this damn apology that the devil spit out of his mouth, all right, who will pity him? If you believe that what this devil have said, and you sincerely believe that he truly apologized for his action, you're a fool for that, okay? And this is what verse 13 is talking about. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sin, who will pity? Okay, so you've been warned. These devils do not like you, Yashala. All right, they never ever wrote a law that benefit Yashala, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Verse 15, for a while he would abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he would not tarry. All right. So the minute you slip up, he ain't gonna wait. Okay, he looking to overthrow you. Verse 16, an enemy speaks sweetly with his lip, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eye, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. You see, not only the spill of your blood, he won't be satisfied, okay, but he gonna find a way to kill the rest of your family. He spill your blood, okay, but he gonna try to, wipe out every memory that every bit of evidence, okay, that has something to do with him killing the first individual. Okay, so he's not gonna be satisfied with blood. In verse 17, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. All right. So how many times you done seen a major event and you see Esau Edom there in the mix? Oh, I'm trying to help out. Okay, this major disaster. All right. So if that reading that verse again from the top, if adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. You see that? And that's why you should never trust these damn devils. Okay? And we ended off with verse 18. He said he will shake his hand and clap his he would shake his head and clap his hand and whisper much and change his countenance. You see that? And see, these devils can never be trusted. All right? And so this is pretty much a quick Watchman report to let Yashala know that they're adding more ways to execute Yashala, and they're getting ready for that Jacob's trouble, man. They're getting ready to issue that mark of the beast. So anybody that don't want to go along with that system, they're gonna use these type of execution. They're gonna, just to get their way. All right, but just like Yahabachim Yahushua said when he was about to fill his belly, then the wrath of Yahabachim Yahushua shall come upon them. All right, so this is just a quick Watchman report. Lord willing, this was edifying. And with that, we give all praise and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Wakakadas. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone for teaching me the truth 100% securely. Shalom, DTA, Ababa Kwam Yashavala.